Hey, welcome to another episode of The Voices. I'm Carlos Lamarche, Dominican, and I'm here in New York. And today our guest is probably, I never said that to him, but it's one of the person I most admire in the industry. I've been following his career quietly, proud, knowing he's Dominican. I moved to New York 11 years ago. I learned about him in Saturday Night Live, which I love that TV show. And I just saw everything he was doing. To me, it's an honor to have today Osmani Rodriguez, but he goes by the nickname Oz, which I love. Osmani is in LA, where he lives now. He is right here with us. Thank you, Oz. My God, you replied to me like 4 hours after I contacted you on Instagram, and you set up and say yes. Thank you.
It's my honor. Thank you for having me. I always want to talk to Dominicans and anything I can to help Dominicans or about Dominicans. It's almost an automatic.
You are any winner, any the real one, lo verdadero. You have a movie already. I watched it a week ago on Netflix, Vampires versus the Bronx, and you working in something else called Miguel Wants to Fight, and we will talk about that. But let's start from the beginning. You were born in the Dominican Republic?
Actually, I was born in Cuba. My mom is Cuban, and my dad is Dominican, and left when I was 5 months old. So, I don't really remember Cuban, but I grew up in the Dominican Republic my whole life.
Oh, wow. Well, you have the best of the Caribbean. I always say, like, living in New York, all this little battle between Puerto Ricans and Dominican haters, Haitian people. I almost, hey, we are all in the same, Caribbean is Caribbean. So when you moved to United States?
I moved about 20 years ago from the Dominican Republic. I grew up there, went to school. I even did the thing that a lot of artists do. I studied publicidad.
Oh, yeah, ¿dónde?
En UNIBE.
Okay.
And then while I was studying that, when I was in the Dominican Republic, there wasn't the film industry that there is there, or wasn't as productive. And like now, I feel like you can stay there. Like maybe myself now wouldn't want to leave the country because there's opportunities over there. But at that time, I wanted to go to film school. I wanted to study film. I wanted to pursue this dream. So I was doing advertising, but I started working in the Dominican Republic with Taure Blanchard.
Oh my God, yeah.
He
It's great.
a lot and taught me editing, and so I was working while I was going to university and saving money to go to film school. I was also in a film school with Tawa, working on commercials and stuff like that. And that was my first contacts with sort of filmmaking. And
Wow.
then I was able to go to Los Angeles. I came to Los Angeles first, which is very not Dominican.
No, especially those days,
Well, this is where I will age myself. It was like a few years after 9/11, and I think also the school in Los Angeles was a year long, or like the program was a year. And at that age, in my 20s, I was like, I've already wasted 3 years of my life in Unibe. I can't do 4 years. This is perfect. But also like Los Angeles, that's where the industry is, and it felt like it was a big challenge because there were like 3 Dominicans out here. And but yeah, I did it, and I came to Los Angeles, came to film school, did a lot of work with sketches on my stuff, worked on Funny or Die.
I used to watch that when I was getting ready to interview you. I found that out. And I remember in HBO, because was those days like HBO was everything. You know, The Sopranos, Sex and the City was like, they were like a traveler, like you in your area as a Dominican. And I read that and said, oh my God, this guy is really funny because I used to watch that. So that's my question, my next question. When you find out you went to film school, you know, there are different gender. Like you want to do horror films, you want to tell drama. When you find out you were good for humor, for comedy?
That's an interesting. It's a great question because it just kind of happened. I myself, I think I have a good sense of humor. I like comedy, but I didn't go to film school thinking I work.
Okay.
I just wanted to work in movies, and after I was done with film school, and then trying to find jobs, and struggling and waiting for Hollywood to call me. We met this friend who was a comedian, and he wrote a little sketch, and he's like, "Do you guys want to do this on the weekend?" And it was myself and another friend. Yes, and that kind of started it. And from there, we kept doing sketches, and then we got job offers and opportunity, and that led to Funny or Die and SNL. So I kind of, like, they've asked me if the SNL job was something I dreamed of, and I didn't, because I didn't even know you could do that. So I kind of just stumbled onto this career, which has been very lucky.
¿Tú crees que, por ejemplo, el humor del caribeño, dominicano, el cubano, no es poco conocer allá, pero es bueno? ¿Tú crees que eso te ayudó un poco?
Sí, yo creo que sí, porque si uno tiene la vida en el Caribe, difícil, pero bien difícil. Y yo creo que el humor a sobrevivir. Pues, sí. Y mi familia es muy interesante. Hay mucha comedia y diferente. Tengo el tío que es bien como alto y se siente su presencia, pero también mi mamá es bien chistosa, pero no callada. Y sí, como mucho diferente tipo de humor. Y sí, yo creo que hay algo de seguro que sí.
Okay. So when the Saturday Night Live call came, you were like, that's real? And how that happened?
Yeah, I was working at Funny or Die and doing videos, doing sketches, and I had a meeting with the Saturday Night Live producer, just like my general meeting. He wanted to meet and talk, and at the other meeting, I was like, oh, that was fun. I met that person. And then like 2 months later, got a phone call saying, hey, they want to fly you to New York for an interview. And the interview was, I remember the interview was Wednesday. They're going to play Tuesday, and you go back Thursday. And yeah, so I had like a weekend to be like, what is, why? And like I watched Friday Night Live, but I read the book and there's this big book about the history. I tried to get as prepared as I could, but yeah, then I went to New York to 30 Rock, and the interview was in Steve Higgins' office, which is one of the producers. He works at Tonight Show too, and with a bunch of writers. And I remember the last person that walked in was Seth Meyers. And I was like, oh my God, that person. Yeah, the job interview, it wasn't a job interview. It was like, they asked me a couple of questions about work, whatever. But then the next 30, 40 minutes were a conversation about movies and Naked Gun and versus Baseballs. And so at the end, I was like, nah, man, I didn't take me serious. Like, that wasn't a real interview. I don't have the job. I was like, but it was fun.
So, tú empezaste como director, una, y dos, ¿tú crees que ellos estaban buscando gente con background de diversidad para involucrarlo en su show?
Yo creo que, bueno, yo entré a SNL con un amigo, yo era codirector y éramos Matt and Oz primero, y él era bien gringo, es él era una persona de Oklahoma, y él era una persona bien gringa, que no sé, no te sé decir, se complica esa pregunta porque cuando entré con él y también era antes de como que eso tuviera de moda de que de contratar gente de, o sea, de first de work,
Yeah,
por ejemplo.
yeah.
O sea que de verdad no es así.
Even better. You got the job because
Exacto, creo que lo conseguí porque creo que lo merecía.
so yeah. For people are listening to us or watching to us, Saturday Night Live is the longest TV show in history in United States. You correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it's one of the longest comedy because
Yeah, but it's so iconic. It's like that's the young kid, you know.
Writers.
That's the young kid doing like he's half Cuban, like you. Oh, I love him. I love him. Up to date, if you were working in Saturday Night Live, what kind of topic you will submit to be like a parody or to be like sketch?
Interesting question. I think not sure that SNL kind of reacts to what is happening that week, that at that moment, and so it's hard to say. But I think not the different answer to your question, but I think it's exciting that like they because of Marcelo and when Ana de Armas, Karol G was there, they can make a sketch that has slow Spanish, Pedro Pascal and stuff like that. So I don't know what that idea would be, but it's nice. It's cool that they are doing something.
You know, you mentioned something interesting, and let's quote like not quote, but let's bring Bad Bunny to the conversation. Él se resiste a hablar inglés. No sé si es verdad que él no lo sabe, pero who cares? En este país es tan grande y no sé si te pasó a ti, pero a veces cuando uno está en el mundo gringo, aquí en Nueva York, trabajando, a mí me ha pasado. Y no, yo soy una persona que no me tomo las cosas personales, pero tu acento que dijiste, entonces a veces uno se siente un poco como puesto como en un rincón. Y hasta que aprendí, no, nada de malo con eso, porque si tengo un acento es porque conozco otro idioma y tengo la facilidad de hacer ambos. ¿Te pasó eso a ti?
No tanto, y le agradezco a mi papá que me puso, que quería que yo aprendiera inglés temprano. Entonces, como aprendí inglés temprano, no me, a veces se me sale me acentico, pero.
Do you think because you Dominican background and Cuban and make you feel when you move to the States, especially you went to Hollywood, like you have to push harder in order to demonstrate or this was not your thing, like you were just attending your school and not even worried, like being different?
Well, yeah, yes and no. I think yes, like, but it's something I knew. Like, I didn't try to stop me. Like, I came to a different country, to a place where there was no, Caribbean people, and so I knew that. Like, I knew that, and I didn't want to think about that constantly, and I just needed to work hard and try to do the things I wanted to do, and like I knew that I was going to walk into a room y lleno de gringo y es el gringo y yo no, y that's what I said. I have to do my job or try to win the job or whatever. Y, yeah, I mean, sometimes obviously you get lonely and whatever, pero I don't know. I can't explain why. I I try not to think about that because maybe it's coming here as an immigrant. I knew que yo era diferente y ya eso se sabía.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Like when you realize, whatever, I don't going to walk around with that label. Like I'm another human. Yeah, that's good. That works for many people, including Black people. I remember I interviewed many years ago before he died, the guy who was the designer and creator of Supreme, and he say, never in my life I put it when I design or do something. In my mind, I'm Black. I'm just a designer. So that's a great thing.
I know I already have so many self-doubt, but I don't need to worry about it. And I already know where I'm from, and if people are excited to learn from where I'm from, I'm excited to tell them Hong Kong and Samaná.
You are from Samaná because I see all your posts. Me too. I see all your posts all the time. Your wife is Puerto Rican.
No, she's actually from California.
Oh,
but loves the Dominican.
Because I remember seeing all your posts and, Samaná and Las Terrenas with pescado frito, tostones. I remember that. Okay. Yeah, I say like every Dominican, wherever we live, in the States or Europe, we're a mini ambassador. Like we tell, like, you have to go to this place, like Las Terrenas, and you have to try like el ceviche or whatever.
Luis Restaurant.
Luis, valga la payola, pero it's the best. Coño, me dio ganas de coger para allá. When you were living in New York, you felt like at home because that's how I feel. Like there are so many Dominican in basic, daily basics we run into them.
Sí, fue bonito, fue buena. Lo necesitaba porque tenía ya un tiempecito en Los Ángeles y hay latinos, pero no es lo mismo. Y sí, cuando llegué a Nueva York, sí, me gustó mucho tener dominicana por todos lados.
¿Tú tienes atrás ¿es la bandera dominicana o es como un...?
Ese es un abanico dominicano.
Yo vi en YouTube una entrevista que te hicieron como parte del research y tú tenías los 3 padres de la patria. Eso fue aquí en Nueva York. Sí, o unos posters.
Los posters, sí. Bueno, Padre Patria en el sentido de que era un afiche de Johnny Ventura y Fernando Villalón y todo.
¿Y cuándo te mudaste a LA?
Hace un año y, no sé, la segunda temporada del COVID.
Oh my God, it's just recently.
Sí, acaba de llegar y nada, y te sigo yendo, trabajando en Puerto Rico ahora, en enero hasta marzo, pero nada, aquí es que...
Sí, todavía. Y eso, ahora vamos a hablar de tu trabajo con Netflix, que ha cambiado la industria porque estos estudios ya no necesitan estar en Hollywood nada más. Tú puedes hacer lo que sea y va a estar en Netflix en cualquier parte del mundo.
Sí, pero la oficina principal todavía está aquí.
Apúntelo ahí, mi hermano.
Donde hay que pedir los cheles,
Aquí, allá. ¿Qué es esto nuevo que está haciendo Miguel Wants to Fight? ¿Es un show o es una película?
Es una película que sale ahora en agosto 16, en 3 meses. Algo así.
El día de la restauración dominicana.
Exacto, así mismo.
¿Tú le elegiste o fue?
¿Qué fue la pregunta?
¿Le elegiste ese día por
No,
eso?
Eso me tocó.
Sabrán esas películas. No, es una película en Hulu, una película de comedia como acción. Este es un muchacho, un chico, un adolescente que quiere meterse en su primera pelea. Nunca ha metido en una pelea.
The boxing.
Y sus amigos lo descubren y él como quiere como que prove himself to his friends. Se quiere meter en una pelea, pero es una comedia, así que...
Okay. And it's boxing. He wants, o lucha.
No, es high school. Es la pelea en la calle o cualquiera.
Okay. So you have your production company. You don't do like exclusive for Netflix. This one is coming on Hulu, so you don't need to.
Sí, es not exclusive. Es donde se puede.
What a great moment for producers and actors. And I remember the days.
Sí, it's very nice, especially hablo de Netflix que salió allá el mismo día y salió y en Japón, todo lado. Y eso fue bien chulo, que como que los amigos pudieron ver la película. Y también te menciono Italia, pero tenía un amigo ahí también que yo...
Y ya por último, ¿qué tú le dirías a todos los muchachos jóvenes que están ahí, que su sueño es ser viral, no quieren estudiar, quieren la insta gratification, como se dice? Porque es otra cosa que queremos promocionar, es descubre tu talento, fórmate, trabaja duro y sé paciente. ¿Qué tú le dirías a esos muchachos jóvenes?
Interesante, porque no sé, no. Yo llegué a donde llegué por los comienzos de YouTube, por ejemplo, de poner cosas online y o sea, que no te puedo decir sería hipócrita decir como de muchachos, ven eso, online, qué sé yo. Yo creo que como me dijeron mis padres, que si hay algo que te apasiona, coger en serio y dedícate y trabaja fuerte. O sea, el trabajo de influencer y esa cosa es un trabajo difícil, también lo estoy diciendo. Hay gente que le va bien con eso, pero es un trabajo. O sea, se levantan todos los días a joder con eso. Y nada, pues eso es lo que ellos hacen. Y no puedo tener su opinión, pero es un trabajo. O sea, que para mí siempre es cogerlo en serio. Y si tú quieres, o sea, yo soy director, que lo más que te puedo hablar por mi experiencia, digo. Ahora, puede ser bien viejo, pero es más fácil hacer cortos con el teléfono.
Sí.
Y que eso es lo que veo en TikTok. Hay cosas de TikTok que a mí me gustan en el sentido de que hay gente joven que está contando historias de una manera cinematográfica a través del teléfono. O sea, no te digo de que, wow, qué producción, pero es más como los tiros, los shots y la edición. Son cosas que yo tuve que ir a la escuela de aprender. Y hay gente joven que está haciendo eso y nada, hay que dedicarse y coger en serio. Y si es algo que te apasiona, aprender lo más que se puede. Hay muchísima información en YouTube también, que eso a mí me encanta, que me ha cambiado. O sea, creo que te puede cambiar la vida. Yo vuelvo y digo, yo fui a Film School a aprender cosas que ahora están en YouTube.
Sí.
Y lo que hay que hacer es darle práctica.
¿Y tú crees que la industria está mirando esa parte? Ya no ve tanto cuál escuela fuiste, sino como que tú has logrado punchando, como decimos los dominicanos.
Y yo, creo que lo de las escuelas no es más que fuiste a una escuela, es más, yo creo que tú puedes llegar por talento, pero a veces lo de la escuela te beneficia porque te presentan las conexiones, te ayuda más con conexiones más que otra cosa. Así que ese muchacho vino de, qué sé yo,
¿Conoces
es más de Harvard, qué sé yo. Es más que por ir a esa universidad te presenta a una persona que te puede dar un trabajo y te cambia la vida. O sea, como la conexión es
un poco más fácil, creo.
Sí.
Pero
y también tú conoces, tú vas a la escuela con compañeros que consiguen otros trabajos y como tú fuiste con ellos, es un lugar de hacer conexiones.
Yo tenía, en mi clase había un cinematógrafo mexicano que ya era un poco, o sea, teníamos 20 nosotros y él tenía 30, y él vino a hacer el año porque trabajaba en México y quería meterse en la industria de ley, y así era que comenzaba a conocer gente. Y le funcionó.
Lo que funciona a cualquiera, pero sí, dedicarse, ¿no? Si te gusta algo, vuélvete curioso, empieza a punchar y...
Sí, especialmente en arte, o sea, hay mucha información y de verdad la práctica ha sido lo más importante para mí. Ahí fue que yo aprendí muchísimo. Y tú miras a Steven Spielberg, no fue a Film School, muchísimos directores.
Sí, sí.
No quiero decir que no vaya, o sea, no estoy diciendo, nothing is stats, pero digo, la práctica es lo más importante.
Yeah, y tener la habilidad de a temprana edad saber que eso es lo que te gusta e irte por ahí. Sí, creo que sí, creo que sí. Oh my God, you are beyond what I thought. Thank you for accepting immediately. You're a very humble guy, and I'm very proud of you. And I've been following your career, as I say in the beginning, and I'm looking forward to having you here in New York and all these Dominicans that are great too. And it's time like to showcase, to put the spotlight in you guys, because Dominicans, we are more than, again, we are very proud of our country, our musicians, our baseball player, but it is a vast, amazing people doing in different fields. And that's very valuable to me. Like, you know, it has to be representation.
I love what you guys are doing.